I'm at Fort Devens, Massachusetts, where for over the past 2 weeks, members of the Army Human Resources community have gathered for the semi-annual training exercise, Silver Scimitar. This event pulls together members from across the Adjutant General Corps. Over the past few years, it has grown into a key tool for training members of this diverse field. I was able to sit down with some event directors and find out exactly how valuable this training has become.
It's the premier AG training event for the U.S. Army, Active Guard, and Reserve. It is their equivalent of the JRTC Joint Readiness Training Exercise or National Training Center preparation for air soldiers' wartime PSS missions.
Almost 70% of this year's participants are going to be downrange within the year. To ensure the training sticks, the directors developed an exercise designed to simulate a deployed mission.
That first week is all about core competency kind of skill level 1, skill level 2 kind of training, right? The second week really is that culminating exercise. So we take that second week and say, okay, you've learned this now first week. Let's see how good you are. Let's see how much you've learned.
Course material pulled from a variety of relevant sources to ensure accurate and up-to-date training.
What we've done is we take the lessons learned. We incorporate what the current doctrine is. We take the basic soldier skills, what they learn at the basic and AIT and at their units, and we combine what the actual mission is that's going on in theater. And from that, they learn the operational flow. And it makes it easier and facilitates the process. When they enter into country, it takes less time and training. Plus, we give them some of those lessons learned so they're not blindsided by the enormity of their mission.
The importance of their mission cannot be underestimated, as the AG soldier touches every part of the Army. This realistic training is invaluable towards preparing these human resources specialists to deploy and support America's warfighter.
A lot of these folks that we selected have actually gone to theater and actually experienced some of the things that we're talking about. So we can apply the realistic aspect to the actual pen and paper, right, black and white doctrine. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring the training to life. And a lot of times the training is dormant until you actually have the experience. And when you have the experience, it's too late.
Realistic hands-on training. You can't get that anywhere. When you go to a warfighter, if you go to NTC or JRTC, HR folks don't get a chance to do this kind of training. And the value added is to be able to do that.
The training strategy also relied heavily on the instruction of capable subject matter experts.
We have soldiers that are coming right out of theater, Afghanistan. They're going to leave from here and they're going to go back and do their jobs in Afghanistan and in Kuwait and in the other countries. That's part of our selection process and bringing in these instructors and these subject matter experts. We have over 120 some instructors that are here. Our student to teacher ratio is like a 1-to-5, 1-to-6 ratio. You can't beat that.
Subject matter experts, or SMEs, serve as instructors during the event's first week. Some of them even serve as observer controller trainers during the culminating training event held on the second week of the exercise. They come from all across the AG community, and some of them even come directly from the front lines. Specialist Christopher Jones has more.
Click in on either AK or...
Instructors at the Silver Scimitar 2012 spent several days preparing these human resource professionals to maintain and operate postal services throughout the world. The branch chief of the Military Postal Service Agency says he knows what it takes to be a successful postal worker in any situation.
Yeah, I've seen a different caliber of soldier here. I've attended approximately 5 Silver Scimitars, and the soldiers seem to be pretty motivated, interested in learning, and very participant.
The Observer Controller Trainers, or OCTs, run the culminating training event based on real-life situations to help both the soldiers and their leaders go from the classroom to the battlefield.
It's tough when you know you're still in the classroom and only a less than 24 hours separates the time from when you were receiving instruction to actually provide an instruction and giving it to your soldiers. But that's our whole purpose in being here, to hit them with those real-life situations that we've literally taken from theater to provide the lessons learned, all the latest things that have transferred, along with what we know to be true that's in black and white regulation.
After completing the exercise, the students will embark on missions around the world to support warfighters and their families. Reporting for the United States Army Reserve Command and the 214th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment, I'm Specialist Christopher Jones.
Thanks, Specialist Jones. The students had a very busy schedule throughout the entire operation. A heavy course load during the first week and a real-life mission during the second week gave the students just a glimpse at what it was like to be an HR specialist in a deployed environment. A U.S. Army Postal Specialist makes sure all his systems are up at the beginning of a long day of moving the mail.
I mean, each time a customer comes in, it's always a little different, so it helps us get good training in all aspects of what you possibly could see downrange.
He's not in Kuwait or Afghanistan, however. He's a participant in Silver Scimitar 2012. He's currently in the middle of a training exercise designed to challenge human resource specialists with a variety of real-world tasks.
I've learned more than I probably have since I've last done postal school, so it's definitely a great help and a refresher, especially if I'm going to be deployed soon going downrange, so I can do the best of my abilities.
As he continued to process packages, on the other side of Fort Devens, another postal specialist was tasked with a very different mission. This young lieutenant was serving as the battalion commander for a casualty operations center.
I think us coming together, I realized my soldiers' strong points, their weaknesses, how they deal with certain situations, and our researchability. I didn't really know how much I know how to research until someone needs to get an answer from me, and now I know how to research and do it. So I'm not just focused on postal. Now I know how to do HR services and personnel actions, and I think that's a very valuable tool for this training exercise.
Lieutenant Davis worked side by side with Warrant Officer Colby throughout the week. She explained the value of the multi-component aspect of the training.
We have all three components coming together, and you get all the information from all different sides, the National Guard, the Army Reserve, and the Active Duty Army. When we do deploy, we're going to be having to take care of, especially in the personnel arena, we have to take care of all three components. They could be, as well as joint forces, which are teaching us here, as well as civilians or any other components that may be deployed with us.
This multi-component, multi-specialty training offered participants a wide range of training experiences. And what does the human resources specialist have to offer our warfighters?
The biggest thing for human resource professionals, I think, is to be able to track your soldiers. Accountability is key. If you don't know where your soldiers are, if you don't know where they're supposed to be, then there's no way that you can track them. And a lot of times we lose sight of that.
During the culminating training event, directors created scenarios that challenged each of the HR specialists with real-world situations. Here's a brief look at what that experience was like.
Silver Scimitar is the best event going here in the HR community.
This is the premier AG training event for the U.S. Army, Active Guard, and Reserve.
If you really put in the work to understand your role and your functions and how they all work together, that you'll be successful when you deploy downrange.
We're pretty much doing the maximum capability that we're able to bring here.
We're doing casualty operations, placement operations. We oversee and manage the postal for the operations in theater.
You're not going to get this anywhere else.
I've seen a different caliber of soldier here.
I'm an American soldier.
The leader is going to make the adjustment and get it done.
Of course, you become the expert and she becomes the student, and that's all right.
We deliver all the time. We deliver all the time. We deliver all the time.
As you can see, our time here was very, very busy, but it was also very exciting. Well, that wraps it up for us here at Fort Devens. Specialist Jones and I have had a great time covering Silver Scimitar.
Yes, it's been a great 2 weeks, and we appreciate all the support we've received from the participating units.
On behalf of the United States Army Reserve Command
and the 214th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment, I'm Specialist Christopher Jones.
And I'm Specialist Christopher Tovey.